For 10 long years, not a single drop of rain fell in the kingdom of Valorith, and the people believed that a dragon had stolen the sky. Long ago, the kingdom of Valorith was a beautiful place. Green fields covered the land, rivers flowed with clear water, and people lived happily. Farmers grew crops, children played near streams, and birds sang in the trees. But everything changed. Now, the land was dry and lifeless. The ground was cracked, trees were dead, and there was no water left in the wells. People were tired and hungry. Dust storms moved across the land like angry spirits. Queen Soline ruled the kingdom from her large stone castle. She was about 50 years old, but she still looked young and strong. No one understood how she stayed so young. The queen told her people that a terrible dragon was the reason for the drought. "This dragon has taken our rain," she said. "If we destroy it, our land will live again." Then she called her bravest knight, Sir Alden. Sir Alden was strong, loyal, and known for his courage. He wore shining armor and always followed the queen's orders. "Go and find the dragon," Queen Soline commanded. "Bring me its head and save our kingdom." Sir Alden bowed. "I will not fail you, my queen." Nearby stood Princess Nyra, the queen's daughter. She was only 18, kind and quiet, with deep, thoughtful eyes. As she listened, she looked worried, but she said nothing. The next morning, Sir Alden began his journey. He traveled across the dry kingdom. Everywhere he went, he saw suffering. Villages were empty. Fields had no crops, and people had no hope left. Children cried for water, and farmers sat beside their dead lands. Alden felt heavy in his heart, but he believed he was doing the right thing. After many days, he reached the high mountains. Sharp rocks and narrow paths made the journey difficult. People said the dragon lived somewhere beyond these mountains. Alden climbed higher and higher, facing cold winds and dangerous cliffs. Finally, one evening, he crossed the last mountain, and what he saw shocked him. In front of him was a hidden valley, full of life. The grass was green and soft. Clear water flowed in small rivers. Colorful flowers covered the ground. Birds flew in the sky, and the air felt fresh and alive. It was like stepping into a different world. Alden slowly walked into the valley, amazed. Suddenly, the ground began to shake. A deep sound echoed through the valley. From behind a large rock, a giant dragon appeared. It was Ember. The dragon was huge, with glowing golden scales. Its wings looked like burning fire, and its eyes shone brightly. Smoke gently came from its nose. Alden quickly pulled out his sword. "This must be the monster," he said. Before Alden could attack, a voice shouted, "Stop!" Alden turned around and saw Princess Nyra running toward him. "Princess," he said in shock, "what are you doing here?" "I came because you don't know the truth," Nyra said, breathing heavily. She walked calmly toward the dragon. Alden shouted, "Be careful," but the dragon did not attack her. Instead, Nyra placed her hand on its head, and the dragon gently lowered itself. "This dragon is not our enemy," Nyra said softly. Alden frowned. "Then why is our kingdom dying?" Nyra looked down sadly. "Because someone is taking the magic from the land." Alden was confused. "What do you mean?" Before she could answer, something strange happened. Nyra's eyes began to glow like fire. Small golden scales appeared on her arms. Alden stepped back in fear. "What are you?" he asked. Nyra looked at him, with tears in her eyes. "I have a secret," she said. "I am not fully human. I am part dragon." Alden could not believe it. "I am connected to Ember," Nyra continued. "I can feel the land, and I know something is very wrong." Suddenly, the sky above the valley turned dark. A cold wind blew, and the bright valley began to lose its color. Then, Queen Soline appeared. She stood on a high rock, looking down at them. "So," she said calmly. "You have found the truth." Alden stood in front of Nyra. "You lied to us." The queen smiled slightly. "I did what was necessary," she replied. She raised her hand, and dark magic came out like black smoke. It started pulling life from the valley. Grass turned dry, flowers died, and the air became heavy. Nyra cried, "You are stealing the magic." "Yes," the queen said. "This land has powerful magic. I used it to stay young and strong. I protected this kingdom, in my own way." "But you are destroying everything," Nyra shouted. Ember roared loudly and spread her burning wings. She attacked the queen. The queen used her dark magic to fight back. Bright fire and dark shadows crashed against each other. Alden tried to help, but the queen's power pushed him away. He fell to the ground, unable to move. Then, Nyra stepped forward. "No more lies," she said. Her body began to glow brighter than before. Her transformation became stronger. Golden wings appeared behind her, and her eyes shined like the sun. She rose into the air, beside Ember. Together, they faced the queen. Nyra and Ember used a powerful light, full of life and energy. It pushed against the queen's dark magic. There was a huge explosion of light. For a moment, everything went silent. Then, the queen screamed as her power broke. Her young face disappeared, and she became old and weak. The stolen magic returned to the valley. Slowly, the sky began to change. Clouds gathered above the kingdom. And then, rain began to fall. After 10 long years, rain touched the dry land again. Across Valorith, rivers filled, plants grew, and people smiled again. The land became alive once more. Queen Selene was taken away, and her rule ended. Sir Alden stood in the rain, watching the world change. He looked at Nyra, who stood beside Ember. "You saved everyone," he said. Nyra shook her head gently. "No," she said. "We just fixed what was broken." Ember let out a soft, peaceful sound, as if she agreed. From that day on, the people of Valorith learned an important lesson. Greed can destroy nature, but truth and courage can bring life back. And they promised to respect the land and never take more than they needed again.